What is up, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt, where Derek and I discuss movies and music and games and all manner of other things that involve the great, wide, wonderful world of the entertainment industry. And it's what we do. It's because we like to. We like to have fun. We like to talk about stuff. And if that's your bag, make sure you stick around. Make sure you leave us a comment on all of your agreements and your disagreements and everything in between. We'll hash it out in the comments. And yeah, Derek, what's been up? What you been up to, man?
Nothing but swimming. A lot. And hold on a second. My thumb's got my beard. Been listening to a lot of Billy Squire lately, which has been really fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, you.
Not much. went to the very first Pride Fest I've ever been to in my life the other day. The gays know
that's awesome.
The gays know how to party, man. Holy shit.
Dude, they do.
They know how to fucking
They
party.
do.
And the one in Providence is fucking huge. It's fucking huge, dude.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're just getting down and having a good time. Man.
They are, dude. They are. Everybody's super chill. Everybody's nice and welcoming and all that good stuff, and that's always good to see. We took Willow for the first bit, and Willow was just having a great time. There's so many fucking dogs and people just giving her all the love and attention that she deserves, and dude, she had a fucking great time.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fucking hot, so we had to bring her back home, and then we went back for the parade, which was even bigger party. It was fucking party,
yeah.
Dude. Had some drinks, hung out and shit.
It's freaking hot, right now. Like, it is hot AF. That's why I told you earlier, which I'm not even gonna get to mow after we record because it was raining earlier, and so I don't know what it's gonna do now, but it was so hot. I went out there at I think it was 9 this morning, and I was like,
it's supposed to be in the fucking 90s next week here, so I don't know what it's going to be like there, but it's supposed to be pretty hot next
90s.
week. Oh, good.
90s all week.
Oh, good.
Or at least as far as I can see through, 90s all every day.
I hate that. Bring me back to the fall, man. I want autumn weather all year round.
Yes.
And I'd be satisfied. Yes. Spooky season year round. Make it happen.
High in the upper 60s.
Exactly.
God.
I'll even take 70 to 73 once in a while, but if we can keep in that 60 range, dude, I'm happy.
I would say if it's getting 70, 73,
it's pushing it.
Get those clouds.
Yep.
If it's cloudy and 70, okay, I can do that.
Yep, absolutely. No, I feel you. I'm right there with you on that one.
I'm a bit of a diva, I guess.
No, same. Dude, fall weather, pumpkin spice weather, I don't give a shit what you want to call it. That's what I fucking want year round.
I just call it the best weather. Yeah, that's what I call it.
Fuck, dude, summer just is not my cup of tea. Do you see how white I am? Me and the sun, we don't get along very well.
Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, I'm getting tan. Well, you can't really freaking see, but if I lifted my shirt up and you saw my stomach,
I'm
just doing. I was like, well, we got a pass for the pool here in town, so we can go whenever we want, as much as we want. So we have literally been going to the pool every day for an hour and just swimming and having fun. So, yeah, I'm just getting burnt from that, and then working out in the yard and just overall home improvement stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we hit up the beach a couple times too. That's been fun. Yesterday we went to the beach and hung out for the day, and that was pretty cool. It was nice. It was a nice breeze going, and the water was still a little too cold for my personal taste. But next week, even though I guess I'm not going to be here, the weather would be perfect to get in the water next week. That's for sure. But that's all right because I can't imagine it's going to be getting any colder for a little while. So we'll definitely hit up the beach again at some point or another when we get back, and it'll be nice and crispy, and I'll be submerged fully into the ocean, and I'm just going to let it take me.
Probably a wise choice, just with the state of things.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it take me away, and no one will ever hear from me again.
I'll fly out there. We'll do it together, Thelma and Louise style. Just drift off.
Fuck yeah, let's fucking do it, man.
But you know what? We're not talking about Thelma and Louise today.
No, we are not.
Should we? I mean, probably not. I don't know, but no, we're talking about The Mummy. More in particular, I guess, Stephen Sommers' Mummy trilogy. Even though he didn't direct the third one, but he directed the first two. Which the first one came out in 1999 and starred Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz and John Hannah. Which, yeah. I'm not going to roll right into the first one, but I kind of lost my train and just let it go into the ocean. And then just let the ocean take the train. But no, we are talking about mummy movies today. And not The Scorpion King.
No.
Not the Tom Cruise abomination that was just the single death blow for the Dark Universe, which we will talk about that at some point in time.
Yep.
But just these three Mummy movies. So The Mummy, Mummy Returns, Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. So, Jacob, thoughts before we get rolling into the first.
Okay, so very first Mummy movie I ever watched was Mummy Returns, and it's because by the time I was old enough to watch these kinds of movies, that one was already out, and my parents were watching it just in the living room one day, and I was watching it with them and so forth, and I remember loving it. I love the hell out of it. I also am a big Brendan Fraser fan. I love Brendan Fraser movies. He's got some bangers. And I think he's a great actor. I think he's super good actor, and for the most part, we're gonna talk about that here in a little bit too. But overall, I still think that I like The Mummy Returns, and I think I still like The Mummy Returns the best out of the three. But the first Mummy is also, in my opinion, pretty good still. Definitely, in my opinion, holds up as a late 90s movie, I suppose. Obviously, the CGI is left a lot to be desired, but...
we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
You can tell a lot more in The Mummy Returns, how much it leaves to be desired with the Skeleton King and all that, or the Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough to watch.
Yeah.
And then... I had never seen The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know that was a thing. As just a fun story for anybody watching or listening. I had the thumbnail ready to go with the third Mummy being the one with Tom Cruise in it, thinking that was the one that was... Because I'd only seen it once, okay? I'd only seen it once, and I just thought it was one of those really bad, failed reboots. And they just recasted everybody and took it on a whole different level or some shit. And Derek was like, dude, that's not the right Mummy movie. And I was like, oh, what? And he's like, yeah, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is the other one. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I had to look it up. And so I just watched that one for the first time today, and I really wish I hadn't. So,
save it for later. We've got a lot to talk about.
Speaking of the CGI, though, I will say the third one did have some much better CGI than the other two. But it was still lacking in a lot of parts. But for the Emperor, for example, it had some cool effects and stuff with his face turning into terracotta and shit. Like the special effects just seemed like they at least fit within the scene. You can still tell it was pretty early 2000s CGI, but it was getting up there, up to snuff with what the other movies were coming out with those days and shit. Whereas the other two, not so much. But Yeah. That's kind of where I was at overall with the trilogy. And my thoughts going into it anyway. So
yes.
Yeah.
So, I guess let's go ahead and we will talk about the first Mummy movie. Now, as I previously said, this was directed and written by Stephen Sommers, and it was a reboot of The Mummy from 1932. This movie came out May 7th, 1999, so it was a big summer blockbuster. A budget of $80 million, and then it made $417.4 million worldwide. So ultimately a very successful movie, because generally they say you gotta double the production budget, and then anything past that would be profit. So 160 to 417, lots of profit still.
Oh yeah.
This movie, Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah. 2 of these 3 are in all of these movies. We will talk about the third one because they recasted for the third one when we get to it. Plot. It opens up with in ancient Egypt times. Some shit's going down between a priest and I believe it was the pharaoh's wife. And so then the pharaoh's wife kills the pharaoh, and then she dies because she kills herself, and then he dies because he gets mummified, and then scarabs thrown on him, or whatever they're called. And then, flash forward to 1926, and hey, we need to go to Hamunaptra to find this tomb, and then they find more than what they bargained for.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to go super more in depth with basically dumb people going places that they shouldn't be going. That's the Mummy franchise.
Yeah.
I don't mean that to sound condescending like it is, but I mean that is ultimately what it is. It's like a Friday the 13th movie. Dumb fucking kids going camping somewhere they should never go. That's what those movies are. Love those movies. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and say it. I love the first Mummy movie. Before going back and rewatching all of these, I had the same thoughts that you have on the franchise. I liked Mummy Returns the best. This rewatch through, it was not even fucking close, dude. First Mummy's so good. The CG, while it's not good, or it's not bad either. If I'm being 100% honest, the CG in this movie is better than Mummy Returns.
Oh yeah, no. I agree with that.
Hands down. And in some spots, I thought it was better than Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think that especially the Mummy himself, like when he comes out of the coffin, looked really, really, really well done in the first movie.
Yes. 100%.
Especially for 99, dude, I think it looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But there was other parts that not so much, and obviously in the second movie, I will agree that the second movie CG was far, far worse by a landslide. So I don't know where their CG budget went, but it definitely was not put into CG, that's for sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about Brendan Fraser real quick, because as far as I'm concerned, he's like one of America's sweethearts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Encino Man, Airheads, Blast from the Past, like, Brendan
George of the Jungle.
Fraser has been in a lot of... Oh, God, you know what? We actually watched that 2 nights ago.
Hell yeah.
It is... I was fucking dying laughing the whole time. I know it's dumb as shit, but, man, it is funny as fuck.
It's so funny. It's so funny, and one of my favorite Brendan Fraser movies is actually, I think, one of the more underrated ones, but Monkey Bone is one of my favorite Brendan Fraser movies of all time. I fucking love that movie.
I would have to say my favorite of his is definitely, oddly enough, it's either Airheads or Blast from the Past.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a rap sheet for sure, like, in the best way. Like, he's got a damn good slew of movies under his belt, that's for damn sure. But I don't know, I've just always been drawn to the weird, like, Tim Burton-y type shit, so... I think that's why I like Monkey Bone so much, but...
Yeah, that's how I would explain it. One thing I will say, Brendan Fraser is a very, very good actor.
Yeah.
And I thought he was a bright spot throughout all 3 of these movies. But I don't like I'll be honest, after this movie, I don't like the most of the writing for the franchise because it, I don't know, it did, like, they perfectly nailed all three of the main characters in this one, which is Rick, Evie, and Jonathan. Nailed them.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I felt like he was the best of the three across the board. Definitely the most consistent.
Even in the last one, he's the only one that I recognized. Like personality-wise, he's the only one that at least felt like he was the same person still, you know?
Yeah, and he, like, I liked his character development throughout the whole thing. It was the same damn thing, whereas Brendan Fraser was this badass, awesome action dude in the first one. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking fight a mummy. And then the just cheesy fucking, like, hey, babe. Like, you know, just that dumb, and seriously, major emphasis on dumb action movie, like, one-liners, and just, I don't know. Him and Evie, and I'm really trying to bite my tongue to talk about Mummy Returns during Mummy Returns.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really tripping over my words. Something fierce. So I guess let's just move on from that and save that for later. Do you have what thoughts do you have?
I just think that one of my favorite things about at least the first two was that they kept the comic relief where it needed to be. More so in the first one, I think. And I think the only reason I like The Mummy Returns more is just because of my bias, because it was the first one. It's the one that got me into with the Mummy movies and shit. But it's marginally better, and personally anyway. I still love the first one a lot. And the first one just has a lot more in it that I missed from when the last time I watched it, so that was pretty cool to see again. Just watch it with a fresh pair of eyes, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But I loved the fact that it wasn't like, maybe it was overdone, but it was still enough to, like, feel like it was a part of this world building, you know? Like, it still had very serious moments. It still had very scary moments that, I mean, if somebody that would be scared of these things would be watching, obviously. The scarabs, even in The Mummy Returns, just shit. I just shit bricks every single time I seen it as a child, so especially in the Mummy Returns, but also scarabs in this one are pretty good too.
I'll say definitely better. Better.
When I seen the dude fucking picking off the little scarab stones or whatever off the side and putting him in his bag and shit, I was like, oh, damn. This boy's about to get got.
This motherfucker don't know what's about to happen.
Oh, dude. It's great. But, I overall loved this one. I loved Jonathan's character a lot. He's the only one that I loved the whole way through, like you said. Just because of consistency. Even during the third one, I was like, well, at least Jonathan's still same old Jonathan, you know what I mean? Aside from his arcs that he had, but he's still this very cowardice, like, funny character that kind of gets into the things that he gets into, you know what I mean? So
one thing, and I kind of spaced on this, but we do need to definitely mention Rachel Weisz, who is Evie in this movie, and just absolutely fantastic, perfect. Like, when this is a movie in my mind where, like, they nailed the casting. Like, there wasn't, like, with everyone. Like, there wasn't an issue, like, where that guy he's not looking at, like, we've got a perfectly casted movie like this, and then on the opposite side of the coin, you got Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, like, horribly casted movie throughout, which we've talked about. Check it out.
Go check that one out.
Rachel Weisz was awesome, and she was good. Like, I liked her. God, what would you say? She just extremely naive, you know, bookworm, wanting to actually fucking get out there and explore. You know, she knocked down some bookshelves, which we will be talking about that again here in a little bit. But yeah, all in all, I loved her character in this movie. Thought she was great.
I fell in love with Rachel Weisz and Evie when I was a kid, and I did it all over again when I rewatched him this time, dude. I fucking love her. She's drop dead gorgeous. She's a perfect casting for the role that she got, or that she's in, and just, dude. And we'll definitely be talking about her again in a little while as well. But
yeah,
overall, for the two movies she's in, perfect.
And then last two I will mention, and I'm gonna butcher some names, so apologies in advance. Arnold Vosloo, he played Imhotep, the mummy, and then Oded Fehr, like I said, I'm gonna butcher that. He played Ardeth Bay, which also, God, it's funny, Resident Evil gets brought up again. He was Carlos Oliveira in Resident Evil Apocalypse and Resident Evil Extinction. And then, who was it? I can't remember the girl's name. Patricia Velasquez. She played Anaxuna Moon, which was Imhotep's, the fruit of his eye, or whatever, apple of his eye, there we go. Which she also played Marta in Arrested Development. But casting, great. Every person that I mentioned now will be in The Mummy Returns.
Yep.
Yeah, all in all, great movie.
Yeah.
Really,
Definitely.
like, honestly, yeah, look at, like, pretty good late 90s CG. Like, gotta put a lot of labels on that, but all in all, good movie. Great movie, actually.
Absolutely. 10 out of 10. Watch it again, for sure.
Okay. So, we'll move on.
Oh, good.
All right. Released May 4th of 2001. Mummy Returns came out. Once again, written and directed by Stephen Sommers. Made on a budget of $98 million, made $435 million, so more profitable than the first one as well. And this also adds little somebody known as Dwayne Johnson or The Rock, if that's where you met him as well. This was a bit. This movie was actually a very big deal, like especially back then.
Yeah.
Just being a wrestling fan, because it's like, oh shit, like, you know, Hulk Hogan was in those shitty, like, straight to VHS fucking Suburban Commando and Thunder in or Trouble in Paradise, whatever the hell it is. They're all really bad.
Yeah.
So an actor actually being in a big time, which this was a big time movie, and even being a supporting role like he was in it, it was big. It was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
But man, I said this movie was my favorite before the rewatch. I don't fucking like this movie anymore. It is awful, dude. Fuck. Awful. We're talking horrible fucking writing. Even worse CG. A fucking annoying little kid the whole time. Yeah, dude. Like, I'm serious. I loved this movie back in the day. But as an adult, I can't even watch this fucking movie. It is garbage. Oh, and it's still better than the third one. Let me just say that. Like, this movie makes every single fucking, like, it was like they got out the playbook for what's the dumb fucking sequel shit that we can do, and let's just get it in there. Okay, we got shitty CGI characters. Nailed it. What's next? Oh, what's a moment from the first movie that we could redo again with the kid, so that way it's, you know, they can piece it together. Oh, we're going to have him knock all these pillars down like she knocked all the bookcases down. And I'm sorry, the first movie, like I said, Rick and Evie were awesome characters. This movie, they are the world's worst fucking parents, and nobody will convince me otherwise, because I was just watching this, like, when we're at the park, like, or whatever, you know, my eyes are fucking glued to my kid, all right? They're literally in ancient Egyptian ruins where there could be fucking traps and shit set every which way. Yeah, let's let the 10-year-old fucking run around and figure it out. God, just awful. And I mean, the CG, like, let's talk about the water wall. It was god awful. Let's talk about the little what were the little fucking skeletons? Awful.
Yeah. They said there were pygmies or some shit. Or
okay, they were pygmies. That's okay. Something like that. That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember for sure. And then the final fight sequence with the Scorpion King. Oh my god, dude, Corridor Crew. And I watched this video like a few years back. I couldn't tell you how long it's been. But they went back through and redid the CG in that scene, and my god, they made it a million times better. But that's the CG throughout the whole movie. It's like it didn't get the final like polish that it needed, because even the Anubis warriors, or the Anubis army, I should say, that CG looked fucking awful too. I mean, it was just awful all throughout this goddamn movie.
The only CG sequences that I thought were decent in this one was the chase scene in the streets on the double decker with those mummy dudes that were running. Those were okay. I mean, those are passable.
Passable, yeah, best, but yeah.
As far as the movie goes, I mean, because the Scorpion King himself, especially at the end when he was like morphed into a scorpion body and shit, like he looked like he was made out of Play-Doh.
Oh, dude.
He looked like he was made out of like smoothed out Play-Doh.
Yeah.
It's not even to mention the final scene with the main villain falling into hell or whatever with all the fucking bodies. That was fucking awful, dude.
Or a Noxuna Moon when she falls in the thing, and why I said the scarabs like in the Mummy 1 were way better. Dude, when she falls in and the scarabs are all over, I'm like, oh my god, this looks fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like, dude. And I wasn't big on the whole Rick is a magi because he's got a tattoo, which is also another bad sequel thing because there is no tattoo there in the first one. They just made it up and put it in there. So stupid. The reincarnation story with Evie being Nefertiti. Stupid as well. Like, and then the kid, of course, having to put the bracelet on. And so, you can't take him to grandma's for the weekend. Nope, he is fucking shackled himself to this ride, and we all have to take it together. Jonathan was great, though. I love Jonathan.
Jonathan's always great. I fucking love Jonathan, dude.
But so yeah, the rest of it, I would legit give Mummy, like the first Mummy, an 8.5 easy. Before that, or before rewatching for this movie, I would have gave it an 8. 3. Yeah, I can't do this movie anymore, man. It's just not good.
I think a lot of my tie of it or to it is bias. I'm pretty sure it's just nostalgia bias because I just remember watching this one way more than the other ones is all. Oh, obviously way more than the third one, but again, it's not to say that I dislike the first one. I love the first one. I think it's great.
So in my mind, the first one was mostly action, obviously a little bit of drama, a little bit of comedy, and a significant amount of horror. Because, him sucking up the guys and everything, it may not be scary, but it has horror elements in it.
Yeah.
This one, it's like action, comedy, drama, horror. He's gonna have to absorb these 3 douchebags anyways that you don't care about, and we're not even gonna show it. So they got that formula perfect for the first one, and then the second one, it was just an action comedy adventure. And
I will say,
this guy.
One of the additions, Sean Parks, he played the Zeppelin driver, or the blimp driver. I fucking loved him, dude. He was fucking hilarious.
Izzy,
yeah. He
shot me in the ass.
But then Rick said something like, well, at least I didn't shoot your eye or something like that because he was worried about losing an eye or something.
Dude, yeah, he had that eye patch on.
He didn't even need it. Dude, I don't know. I thought his character was funny as fuck.
Yeah. Ultimately, you know, everybody did really good. The story and the script was just not good.
Like, I think the biggest gripe for me as far as the story goes is the whole reincarnation bit was very, very convoluted and confusing. Like her between her Evie's role in the lady from back in the day. I just think that whole story was very convoluted, kind of, I don't know, meandered together, not in a very good way.
Yeah.
But damn, you're convincing me I do like the first one more. Fuck.
Dude, that's like I don't know if you saw the face I made when you said my favorite's probably Mummy Returns. I was like, how? Like, I'm sorry to rain on the parade, dude. Like, I feel I'm making valid points.
No, you are.
It's just a bad story and bad writing. And
the thing is, I don't dislike it enough even after you said all that stuff to not watch it again, though. Like, I agree with your points, but, like, I'd still watch it again. But again, that's probably due to nostalgia is the thing. And I don't know, I fucking play World of Warcraft still. I live in nostalgia, you know? But,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe I do like the first Mummy more, but... I don't know, they're both good, dude. I'll still watch both of them, no problem. However, I can't say the same about the third one, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, released August 1st, 2008 in the U.S. We've got Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Okay, two things right out of the gate. One, this movie was fucking 5 years too late.
Yeah.
If this movie would have came out in 2003, because that was closer to the Jet Li craze, where, you know, he had to be in, like, everything, like, was it From Cradle to Grave, The One, I know he's in not Rush Hour, Lethal Weapon 4 in 98. And Brendan Fraser's star had also kind of faded a little bit during this time period, whereas during, like, Mummy was right at that peak.
Yeah.
This movie was 5 years too late, and there is only one goddamn mummy in this movie, and it is not the Dragon Emperor. So, I took immediate issue with the movie being called The Mummy when he was turned into a fucking statue. Hold on a second. Mummy. Definition, especially in ancient Egypt. A body of a human being or animal that has been ceremonially preserved by the removal of internal organs, treatment with natron and resin, and wrapping in bandages. No. Why? This is Troll 2 all over again. Because Troll 2 doesn't even have trolls in it. It's goblins. Like, get your shit fucking straight, first off. Oh, God.
So,
all right, I'll let you go for a little bit, because, yeah.
So here's the thing. A story following the Mummy, set in ancient China, we're deriving from ancient China, with Brendan Fraser following these other two movies that I loved, sounds good to me on paper. I love ancient China. I love ancient China. As a matter of fact, I love ancient China probably more than I love ancient Egypt by quite a bit, just because I don't know, I love the culture, I love the scenery, the landscape is fucking beautiful, the wildlife is crazy. I just think it's fucking awesome. It's on my to-do list of places to be at some point in my life. I want to be in China somewhere. And I love Jet Li. As a matter of fact, I think I even love Jet Li in this movie. As far as his acting and stuff goes, I think he did okay for what we got. The writing, awful. Brendan Fraser, I also love Brendan Fraser. I'm gonna blame the writing, because I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but even his performance of it was not the greatest. Like, it was not very good. Luke Ford, the dude that plays the older Alex, big old thumbs down from me, dude. Big old thumbs down. Michelle Yeoh, love her. Think she's great. She's an awesome actress. Every movie I've ever seen her in, she's done a phenomenal job, and I think this is no different. But
okay, one thing I'm gonna pause you with, and this isn't Michelle like an issue with her, but the story or the script. I guess.
Yeah. Anything bad from this, I think, is 100% story and script to blame.
Jet Li was speaking, Chinese or Mandarin. I don't know what he was talking, but he was, that. Why was she talking perfect English?
I don't know.
Like she's so like.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I mean, she's been around for thousands of years, so she's had time to learn it. But I don't know why she would.
But I thought she was basically just chilling, like waiting, like
up in the Himalayas.
Waiting. I don't know. I thought that was dumb.
No, it was. She'd have no reason to learn English. She's chilling in Shangri-La, up in the Himalayas in some magic ancient passage. Why the fuck would she need English? Who knows? But
yeah,
I don't know. Time-wise, she had plenty of time to learn English. Maybe she got bored. I don't know. She just wanted to learn English for the fuck of it. But I can give that a pass compared to some of the shit. And the most egregious, I think, of all the things that I had wrong with this movie was the recasting of Evie.
Yes.
And I don't know much about Maria Bello or anything she's ever been in. I probably have seen her in other stuff, but I just don't recognize her as much as I do some other names and shit.
She was Kevin James's wife in the Grown Ups movies.
Okay.
Adam Sandler movies.
Okay, yeah, I do recognize her a little bit. I think she was in Coyote Ugly or some shit too, I think. Or
yeah, she was.
Yeah, I don't know. She's okay, but like, she sure as fuck is not Rachel Weisz. That's for goddamn sure. And why would you recast her? I mean, I know there was something involving Rachel Weisz having a child or something, and she didn't want to spend time away from her newborn. I get that, 100% valid. Write her fucking character out. But something. She dies off screen or something, which we all hate, I know, but it would have been better than the fucking schmuck that we got, dude. This shit was fucking awful, and her acting was fucking cringe, dude. Like, I am not even kidding. I had a hard time watching any line that she spoke. It didn't seem authentic. It didn't seem genuine. There was nothing about her character that made me feel like this was Evie at all. Like, whatsoever.
I feel bad for her. I really, truly do. Because, I would have... This movie... I don't even want to know. I don't even want to say it would have been better. I mean, it was really bad. Like, let's get that out of the way. I think Rachel Weisz being in the movie, it still would have been bad, but obviously it would have been better because, like you said, anything she said or referenced to in the past or whatever, I was like, you are fucking there. Like,
so not hashtag not my Evie.
And just the exact same thing that happened like with Nightmare on Elm Street and Patricia Arquette, and then Tuesday Night. Like, Patricia Arquette didn't come back for the fourth one. Tuesday Night became Kristen for Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and then even the cast was like, it just don't feel the same. The chemistry's off, and it's abundantly fucking clear in this movie that, she does not have the same chemistry with Brendan Fraser as Rachel Weisz did. And
there was also that little joke that they made when they first revealed her face. They made a joke about her being a brand new person or something like that. It was very meta joke. Yeah. And I was like, that's not Evie, is it? That can't be Evie. Did Rick like remarry and Evie's gonna come and save the day later down the road or something? What's going on here? And I didn't look at the name of the author on the book, so I wasn't like paying attention that hard. But like, once they established that this was Evie, I was like, oh no. No. I thought they were going to do some kind of drama where Rick got remarried or something, and there was going to be some kind of conflict or whatever, and then Evie was going to, the real Evie was going to come later on, and like they were going to have the chemistry and they got back together or some shit, and this person was going to be like a fill-in for that drama role or whatever, but nope. And the fact that they made a meta joke about her being a new person in general almost feels like a slap in the face to Rachel Weisz, because like, it's almost like they were like, yeah, we got somebody else. Sucks to suck. But she had a valid reason for not wanting to do it. You know, like, it wasn't I'm not going to do it because you're not paying me enough. It wasn't, I'm not going to do it because your script sucks cock, even though it did. It's, it was a valid point. She just had a child. I would want to spend more time with that child than to be away on set for fucking months and months on end. So it's perfect.
Let alone a bad movie, too.
Yeah, and it was just a terrible movie. However, I do agree it would have been significantly better if they did not recast Evie. And they would have either wrote her out of the story, or she was off doing something in somewhere else, some research or some shit, and Brandon Fraser's character, Rick, had to just do his own thing and meet up with his older son. That would have been much better.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't do any of that, though.
She, like, it sucks to say this, she should have been killed off in between. Like,
or if she would have died in the second one. Like,
yeah,
she was being set up to possibly die in that one anyway, and they could have done it. But
yeah,
I don't know.
This movie ultimately is a complete mess. It's basically, I don't want to say a carbon copy of Mummy Returns, except worse.
Yeah. But
I mean, it is the same action comedy, dumb, like stupid, just dumb shit.
Can we just for a minute talk about the Yetis? Can we talk about that for a second?
yeah, they awful. Moving on.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, what? Why? What? When I seen those Yeti, when I seen the girl like screaming into the void of the mountains of the Himalayas or whatever, I was just like, okay, she's got some friends out here. All right, cool. Let's bring in some friends of hers. I didn't for a million years think
there's gonna be fucking Yetis.
I just sat there and I was like, Are you 100% serious right now?
Freaking yeah, dude. Like, they tried to expand the fantasy aspect of it, and it flopped hard. Let's be honest about that. Like, hold on, let me go back up to this. This movie, it made $405, almost $406 million. I do not understand how this movie made that much money.
Curiosity. That's curiosity is all that is.
God. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of done talking about this one. It's a bad fucking movie.
It was not. Like, I actually don't even know how it ended. I turned it off. I turned it off.
I watched it all the way through and I can't even remember. Like, I know
Brandon Fraser or Rick gets stabbed. I remember that, and then the lady heals him. And that's all I remember. After that, I don't know.
So let me mention Jonathan once again.
Oh yeah, Jonathan's just doing Jonathan stuff.
Yeah, he had a bar in, was it Shanghai or something?
And it was Egyptian themed.
Yeah.
That was funny as shit.
It was called Emoteps. Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan's just doing Jonathan stuff, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, like, I don't like rooting against Brendan Fraser, but Jonathan was the best character throughout the entire trilogy of these.
Oh yeah.
It's like, nobody will convince me otherwise. But yeah. So any closing thoughts?
Dude, I don't know, man. I think the potential for this could have been much better. I think that the potential for this was higher than what we ended up getting, obviously, and I think that if they wouldn't have fucked up the story and the writing and stuff like that as much as they did, if they would have scrapped the Yeti thing entirely, if they wouldn't have recast Evie, this probably could have been my favorite of the three. Because again, I am that much of a fan of Ancient China, and I thought that the plot was like overall was like a cool story idea. They just didn't put it together how they should have. Like, it was like they were putting a puzzle together, but they were trying to put pieces from a different puzzle into it, and it just didn't make the full picture. You know what I mean? So
they were doing 1,000-piece board like jigsaw puzzle, but then you got some dumb writer that's trying to throw like, you know, those like 8-piece puzzles for like little kids fucking in there and just cramming it. Like we're talking, just beating the shit out of it. Like it's gonna fit.
Yeah, to the point where they just gave up and they started gluing the pieces to the edges just to make it seem like it's supposed to be there.
Yeah. See, this puzzle is legit. Yeah. This puzzle's legit. It's supposed to look like that.
Looks just like it does on the box.
So I am going to tell you the last thing that happened at the end of the movie because it was awesome, and I will also tell you it was all about Jonathan.
Okay, good.
So Jonathan moves to Peru, and he had the Eye of Shangri-La with him at the end of the movie.
Naturally.
And he even explicitly states, he's like, I'm going somewhere where there's no fucking mummies whatsoever. And then it popped up on the screen. It's like, oh, mummies were discovered in Peru like a year after or something. So at least it ended on a funny note, yeah. But that it doesn't save just a sour mess of a movie. If I'm giving Mummy Returns a 3, which I'm solid with that, this movie gets a fucking 1. I will never watch this fucking movie again. No. And sorry, Brendan Fraser, but
and we know it's not your fault, buddy. But
yeah,
just God.
But damn, it's bad. It's is so bad.
It's okay. I'll go watch Monkey Bone again 1,000 times. Yeah. I'll go watch George of the Jungle 1,000 times too. I don't give a shit. Shit's funny as hell.
I will go watch Airheads and get down with the Lone Rangers.
Yeah, Racino Man, dude. I'll watch that shit all over the time too.
Or you know what? I will cut off my foot before I rewatch this movie. There we go.
Oh, there was one more thing I thought that was just odd.
Okay.
Maguire, the pilot, the Irish pilot or Scottish pilot. Sorry.
Davos from Game of Thrones.
Was he in one of the other movies?
No, just so they literally in all 3 movies they introduce a buddy of Rick's from when he was in the war. So the first one it was Benny, second one was Izzy, third one was I can't even remember his name. The movie's so bad. He's Davos.
Maguire.
Not Davos.
So I guess I didn't put that together that they were just a different friend each time. So okay, that makes more sense then. Never mind. I thought when he said I know a guy because they said they needed a plane, I thought they were gonna bring back Izzy or something because he had that fucking Zeppelin thing. I thought that's what they were setting that up for, and then they showed this random Irish guy, and I was like, what? What the fuck? But I guess that makes more sense that there's a new friend each time. That makes more sense, but.
Yeah.
But when he said it and they panned into his face and it was like, I know a guy or whatever the line was, and then it's just a completely different person. I was like, okay.
No, the whole reason with that is because earlier in the movie, Jonathan was Alex was getting with that guy's girlfriend or wife or daughter or something, and then Rick had to get in between them and was talking to him, and so that's why that got referenced because it was brought up during that he was a pilot.
I see. Okay, that makes more sense. I got you. Not that his character was fine. There's always his friend is always a really goofy kind of person, so that's cool, I guess. But
yeah,
yeah, not good.
No,
overall, not good.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, my obvious ranking of this is dead last, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, will never watch it again, Mummy Returns 3, or 3 out of 10. Would never willingly watch it again, but if it's on TV, it's whatever. And then the first Mummy with an 8.5. I will definitely rewatch that movie. It's so good.
Yeah. I'll give Tomb of the Dragon Emperor a 2 for Jonathan. Just for Jonathan.
Oh, they got the 1 for Jonathan.
I love Jonathan, dude. He's funny as fuck. But I did kind of like Jet Li for the most part, and the CG was pretty cool. I like the when they first awaken him and the horses like turned all like they had the cracks and shit in them, and I thought that was cool as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty badass. But so I'd give it a 2. I'd give it a 2. Mummy Returns. Now that we've talked about it, I'd give like a 6.
Now that you've woken up.
Yeah, no, you got me on that one. Okay, I still will watch it again though. I would watch it again for nostalgia, but also for Rachel Weisz, just to have another movie of hers to watch because she's fucking gorgeous and I love her. But and then
Yes.
The Mummy, I'll agree with your 8.5. I'll sit with you on your 8.5 for sure. Damn good movie, man. Damn good movie. I wish the Scorpion King movies were good.
Yeah, I will say I know we said we weren't going to talk about them, and I'm not.
We don't have to go in depth, but I do remember them not being great. However, I did like the first one when it came out, and I was very young, so I'm sure if I watched it again when I'm older, I probably will have a lot more opinions on that. But
yeah,
I liked it when I was little. I thought it was pretty fun, but
yeah, I know I liked it and I had fun with it, but just thinking back to some of the parts of the movie, I know I'm like, I can already tell this isn't gonna age good, like at all.
Yeah, I might rewatch them just for the sake of it, just to see like what I think of them now. But I do remember absolutely hating the second one. So
I never even watched the second.
I watched it once and I was just like, what the fuck?
I only watched the first one because the rest of them were just straight to DVD releases, and sorry, to judge a book by its cover, 9 times out of 10 they're not worth a piss. So yeah. So if you take away anything from today's video, just throw your copy of that away if you had it, because it's garbage. Yep, nailed it.
Nice. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Okay, well, do you have any closing thoughts on the Mummy franchise as a whole? Other than your ratings, is there any other standout points you need to make?
Franchise as a whole, not good. One great movie, one really bad movie, and one atrocious movie. It sucks that the original Mummy is weighed down by these two, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish they would have. I definitely wish they would have leaned into the horror element a little bit more in both the second and the third movies. I think that would have been a lot cooler than some of the drama points that we got instead. Like the horror,
or some of the dumb throwaway one-liners that did not need to happen.
Yeah, the ones that just didn't land. And obviously just some of the points that they made in the story just were... I wish they would have added more horror instead of Yetis, for example.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot better.
100%.
But, yeah. I don't know, man. It is a shame. It is a shame, but...
Dirty shame.
What did you guys think of the Mummy movies? Let us know down in the comments below. What is your ranking of them? Did you like Tomb of the Dragon Emperor? If you did, please go watch some more movies, because...
yeah, or at least explain why. Explain yourself!
Yeah, please. I need to know. I need to know why you love the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Otherwise...
Did we miss something? Because I don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the points we made were enough still. Even if we did miss something, I still think the points we did make were sufficient enough to bully Tomb of the Dragon Emperor a little bit, so...
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it brought it on itself.
I'm not even kidding, dude. When I first started watching it, I was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. I fuck with this, you know? Like, it wasn't until they revealed that Rachel Weisz was recast that I was like, wait, hold on. And then everything went drastically downhill from there. I mean, the whole opening was cool. It was fun, you know. It had, like, the same kind of feel that the Mummy movies have had in the past. And I was like, okay, this is cool, but it's set in China. And I love that. I love the fuck out of that. And, yeah. after they revealed Eevee, I was like,
oh god,
I'm not gonna like this. I'm not gonna like this at all. Oh man! Yeah. And then the whole plot with the older son, I thought was fine. Like they could have gone that route and it would have been good if they just didn't fuck it up, but they did. So there's that. Yeah. But anyway, if you like this video, make sure you give us a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see anything more like this or anything else we do on the channel. We talk about music, we talk about movies, we talk about games, we talk about life in general involving the entertainment industry and all that kind of stuff. And make sure you go back and check out some of our other stuff as well. We've got a ton of stuff, everything from Five Nights at Freddy's to album verses to top 10 albums of a certain year, and everything in between, man. So go check them out, and I think we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
A good one.